Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're doing a full live review for Atlas Obscura VR, a game released on the Steam store today, November 28th, 2025. It normally retails for $13. It's on a release sale 40% off. So I did buy this game, so, around $8. And I'm testing it out on the Meta Quest 3. I'm using link cable now, but I was using virtual desktop earlier. And there's a big issue I noticed on link cable, at least. I don't know if you can tell, but the controllers are facing the wrong directions. I was using virtual desktop earlier, and I did not have this issue. The controllers were facing the right direction, but now that I'm using link cable, they're facing the wrong direction. So I don't know what that's about, but that's a big error. That's a big issue that needs to be fixed. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this game. I'm doing a full live review because I didn't feel like doing a live review, and I thought that doing a live review would be more helpful. So let's go ahead and let's just click on one of the experiences. So basically, with this experience, you have three main experiences. One in San Jose, USA, the Winchester house. That's the Winchester rifle. People. Palazzo, Italy, which is Temple of Damontor. That's like some kind of witch house or a cult house. It's kind of weird. It's culty. It's religious. I don't know. It's odd that they included that one. And then you have Turda, Romania, which is Salina Turda, which is a salt mine. That's all. I mean, all of these are odd inclusions. You have a gun house, a salt mine, and like a culty religious temple kind of deal. Those are three weird places to explore. I mean, I'd rather explore Las Posas, Mexico, or Great Blue Hole. That would be a great experience to explore. Let me go ahead and click on Great Blue Hole because that was the thing that I was most interested in. I've heard of this, and I would love to visit in VR. Right,
Blue Hole, Belize. The Great Blue Hole, located just 100 kilometers off the coast of Belize, is an underwater sinkhole that researchers believe is the largest of its kind. Circular in shape and characterized by its rich blue color, it is over 300 meters across and 125 meters deep. It lies in the center of an atoll called Lighthouse Reef, where an island of coral encircles the shallow, light turquoise-colored waters of a lagoon. Water levels there are so shallow that parts of the ring surrounding the dark blue sinkhole are even known to crest the surface at low tide. The sinkhole originally formed as a limestone cave during the last glacial period, creating a vertical cave in the ocean. As such, the site is popular among divers who flock to the area to see the geological formations that now lie in the ocean's depths. One such diver was explorer Jacques Cousteau, who made the site famous in 1971 by declaring it one of the top 10 best diving places in the world.
And that would be a great place to explore in VR. I would love to see it. But guess what? That's it. That's all. that was it. It's just a bunch of 2D photos and a little short audio. Great. Let's also click on Las Posas, Mexico. Let's see what that's about. I've never heard of this.
Las Posas, Mexico. Las Posas, or the Pools, is a world of dreamlike sculptures rising out of the dense tropical jungle of Mexico. Las Posas was the vision of Edward James, an eccentric English poet, artist, and patron of both Dalí and Magritte. The extraordinary sculpture garden was inspired by the vegetation of the jungle and its orchids. James' vision was created over 22 years through the work of hundreds of local masons, artisans, and craftsmen. James called it his surrealist Xanadu.
Again, another interesting place I would love to visit in VR, but we cannot. So I have one of three choices: either the Winchester house, the gun house, the Temple of Damontor, or the salt mine. I guess the most interesting place is the Winchester house, so let's go ahead and click on that. That's episode 1. Let's click on replay trailer. And this is what happened originally as well. So whether it's the first time playing this or not, or the second time, either time it didn't work for me. This is all I saw. Now, I don't know what's supposed to be happening here because I've never played this game. I know it did release on the MetaQuest store, so it might work. The MetaQuest version might work correctly. I imagine there's some kind of at least pictures and audio, or maybe a video that's supposed to be playing. But as you can see, there's absolutely nothing playing except the skip button. So it says you can skip. But what are you skipping? I have no idea. It's completely blank. So again, and something else that doesn't work in this game. Also, I can tell you that I've clicked on a couple of places, of the 3 episodes. I've clicked on a few places and it was totally black. So there was nothing there. So I imagine there's supposed to be something there, but it just came out completely black. Let's go ahead, and it says 74% progress, but I've already been to all the locations. I just didn't click on everything because I was kind of bored. So let's go ahead and let's visit the Winchester house, a peculiar mansion built by the troubled heir to the Winchester gun fortune. So I like to call it the gun house, the crazy American gun house. How cliche of America. Okay. So I think this was the last place that I was. I don't think this is how it starts. So let me go ahead and go back to how it starts. I think it starts here. Now, as you might be able to tell, this is a 360 photo right in front of the entrance to this mansion, this Winchester house. And I'm not going to say it has zero 3D effect. It's 360 photo. It looks pretty flat, to be honest. I mean, there is like this palm tree right here. There's a little bit of 3D effect with this palm tree. I think mostly because of the circular way these 360 photos work. But outside of that, there's no 3D effect. It's a flat 360 photo. And I mean, I'm not gonna say the 360 photo is low. I'm sure it's a 4K photo, maybe, or 2K photo. I'm sure it's a 4K photo, but the problem is it's stretched out. So when you stretch out, the resolution needs to be even higher, because otherwise it's gonna look pretty flat and it's not gonna look very detailed. And unfortunately, with PCVR, with SteamVR, we're used to better quality. This would have been fine probably in the early days of VR, 2016, 2017 VR. This might have been okay. But after that, we've had much better experiences. Not only that, better experiences that are free. These visuals are underwhelming in Steam VR. They're subpar. I paid a little under $8 for this experience, and I honestly feel like I wasted my money because these were not the visuals I was expecting. I was expecting photogrammetry, light fields, something along those lines. Like I said, we've had better free experiences, or it's fun to explore because you feel like you're really there. But this doesn't feel like I'm really there. It feels like I'm looking at a 360 photo that's been stretched out, so it doesn't look very good. And yeah, this is very disappointing. Now, not all this experience is disappointing. There's some good. So the aerial view, I think, can be cool. So let's look at the aerial view. Hopefully it works. Okay, there we go. Now this is the best thing about this app, this aerial view right here. And the other places have miniatures, but none of them look as good as this. So this looks really good. I wish this was the whole experience, like miniatures or aerial views of the locations. If this was the experience, I would give it a positive recommendation because I like this. This is nice for VR. There's a nice 3D effect, and it looks like a little miniature that you're looking at. A little diorama, and you can zoom in. Okay, you can zoom in. And, it kind of has like a Google Street View kind of vibe to it, but still, it's good for what it is. There's a lot of detail here, even though, like I said, it does have like that Google area, like that Google Street View that, that looks like cardboard. because as you can see, the leaves and whatnot, or they're not rendered correctly. But overall, I would say this looks good. I don't like the vignettes. I wish I could turn the vignette off. I believe the only thing in settings, I believe, was language. I believe. I don't think there was anything else. There was no graphical settings or anything like that in the settings, or locomotion, or turning. This is the only turning available, believe it or not. So let's go ahead. Like I said, I love this. If this was a whole experience, I would have given it a thumbs up, and I would have been glad to pay the $8 or even more if this was the experience. But this is a small part of the experience. This is the most of the experience. So let's go ahead and let's go inside the stairwell. And again, 360 photo, stretched out, not high resolution enough for you to enjoy it, and the 3D effect is almost non-existent because of it. This is not stereoscopic 3D. And if you click on it,
heading up to Sarah's bedroom, you can learn a lot about her story. Heading up to Sarah's bedroom, you can learn a lot about her story and personal. Heading up to Sarah's bedroom, you can learn a lot about her story and personal life.
Let's do that. So Sarah's the wife of Mr. Remington or whatever. And again, there's these loading screens, which shouldn't exist in this type of experience, to be honest.
She's married to William Wirt Winchester, who is the son of Oliver Winchester, who owned the Winchester Rifle Company, also known as the company who created the gun that won the West. Her and William were married for a time before they had their daughter Annie, who unfortunately passed away of a protein disorder called marasmus.
Like, I know I say in my videos, especially the live videos. I do a lot of live videos. I don't do a lot of video edits except for the proper reviews that I do. You should not be hearing in any kind of professional production where especially when they're selling it for a price. You expect better care taken in taking these audio logs, and you also expect a better voice actor. I don't know who this voice actor is. He might be one of the devs, but they're pretty terrible.
For one reason or another, since I started in to make alterations in my house, I've not been able to get anything like settled. It would make a long story to tell all about it. In the first place, it is infinitely more difficult to get work done than it would be in New Haven. I'm constantly having to make upheaval for some reason. For instance, my upper hall, which leads to the sleeping apartment, was rendered so unexpectedly dark by a little addition that after a number of people had missed their footing on the stairs, I decided that safety demanded something to be done. So over a year ago, I took out a wall and put in a skylight. Then I had to have plastering done, and as that could not well be done in the heat which succeeded, I had to wait for cooler weather. Then I became rather worn and tired out and dismissed all the workmen to take such rest as I might through the winter. This spring, I recalled the carpenters, hoping to get my hall finished up. Then came the necessity for an irrigating plant, and this required much work from the carpenters, so that they could not get at the hall. Then came the need for other outside work, which must be done before the fall rain should interfere. Rain revealed to my dismay leaks in the new skylight. And so it goes.
Okay, so more criticism for these audio logs. First of all, the writing, I don't know what they were thinking. What is the point of these audio logs? The information they're conveying is pretty banal. It's not really relevant to anything. It's pretty boring. I almost fell asleep listening to that. And then again, on top of that, the voice actors look like they're reading, and not very good. Let's go ahead and click on this.
Sarah was not without giving herself one of the best views of the house. As you can see, her entire side of this room is covered in glass, so she can overlook the central courtyard out below. When Sarah passed away in 1922, 6 months later, they opened up the house for tours. So for 93 years, we've had over 12 million visitors to the house and counting.
I don't know what that was. I don't know why the light all of a sudden. Let me point at the. How do I get out? Okay, here we go. Sorry. So let's go to the photo matching. So this is the only other real activity. If you move this photo?
In 1906, there was a massive earthquake in the Bay Area. And during that time, Sarah was trapped in this section of the house. If you notice towards the back of the photo, you'll see the top of the tower leaning precariously.
I don't know if I can move the photo anymore. I really don't know what all you're supposed to do here. Maybe click on this? I don't know. Okay, there's 4 matching photos. Okay, now I see. So the gate. Where is the gate? Are we supposed to know where the gates are? Is it right here?
Notice the 2 statues. These are Hebe and Demeter, 2 iconic symbols guarding the entrance.
Okay, so I guess right here? No? Maybe it's right here. Maybe it's right here.
On the left of this photo, you'll see Sarah in her famed carriage. Notice this portion of the house has yet to be built.
Okay. So, yeah, by the fountain right here.
The photo you're looking at is Marion Marriott, Sarah Winchester's niece. When Sarah passed away, she bequeathed to Marion a lifetime allowance that would look after her for the rest of her life.
Okay, this should be the last one.
This is a view from the front steps of Sarah's house. Notice she once had a driveway here.
I think that's it. So let's go ahead and click on this. It still shows 97%. I don't know. Last 3%. Does it click on complete story? And again, these loading screens take forever. I don't know what's going on. Why is it black? Is it supposed to be black? Is there anything else? I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what the other 3% would be. But in any event, I hope you see why I just cannot recommend this game. First of all, the motion controllers are facing the wrong way. I'm using the MetaQuest 3, using link cable. I will say that when I was using Virtual Desktop, the controllers were facing the right direction, so I don't know why that is. Second of all, just the quality. This is subpar quality. I mean, the 360 photos just aren't very good. Not for PCVR. Maybe for the Quest, these are fine, but this is not fine for Steam VR. We've had much better for many years, and we're just not going to go back in quality. Developers should know that we expect a certain quality on Steam VR, and this experience doesn't meet those minimum requirements for PCVR. You know, I don't feel transported to these locations. That's the whole point of VR. That's why we have VR. That's why we have photogrammetry. That's why we have light fields. I want to be transported to these places through the magic of VR. And this fails because I don't feel transported. Third of all, the audio logs are just not good enough. They seem very unprofessional. They need to hire professionals to do that. And the material is also pretty dry. Lastly, the bugs. I don't know why some locations show up as black. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. If I have to rate this, again, this is a full live review. I've experienced all the content. I can't. The reason why I didn't want to do reviews because, to be honest, let me go back. Let me go to the Return to the Atmosphere. The place in Italy. I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. It's so this episode 3, the Temple of Donmar, psychedelic underground temples. I guess that's how you would describe it. But there's also nudes, and I know YouTube will make my video not appear, because of the nudes there, so I can't show that. And the salt mine was just, it's a salt mine. It's probably the most interesting salt mine, but at the end of the day, it's just a salt mine. And again, the technology for showing these locations is not good enough that the salt mine would be interesting. The stuff that I want to see, the app doesn't allow me to see, because like I said, I wanted to see the blue hole. I don't even know how to. And also the traders don't work. So something's supposed to be playing right now, and you can see it's not playing. So I don't know. Like, you can see the subtitles, but I don't know if there's a video playing or audio or photo. I don't know. Something's supposed to be playing. But this app is just too buggy, and the technology is not there. It doesn't meet the minimum standards for Steam VR. We've had much better for several years now, and I couldn't recommend this to my fellow PCVR enthusiasts. So I'm going to give this a negative recommendation. If I have to rate it, I would give it a 4 out of 10. There's some interesting stuff, like the aerial view and the little miniatures that this game has are all cool. There's miniatures in the other experiences, and those were all cool when they were there, okay? But everything else is just subpar, and I cannot recommend it. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. This has been my live review for Atlas Obscura VR. Unfortunately, I cannot recommend it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.